In the heart of the whispering woods, where the trees swayed gently like dancers under the moonlight, there lived a tiny firefly named Finn. With his golden glow, Finn would flit through the darkened forest every evening, adding a sprinkle of magic to the world around him. Whispering woods were alive with the soft hum of crickets and the occasional rustle of leaves as the nocturnal creatures stirred. It was a world full of wonder, a place where even the smallest of creatures played a vital part in keeping the forest brimming with life. Finn loved his nightly flights. He would rise from the soft, mossy patch beneath an ancient oak tree, where he called home, and light up the night with his warm glow. His friends, the other fireflies, would often follow him, creating trails of golden light that weaved through the trees like sparkling ribbons. Together, they painted the sky with their glimmers, turning the forest into a shimmering dreamscape. But Finn wasn't just any firefly. He was known for having the brightest glow of them all. His light wasn't just a glow, it was like a miniature sun, warm and inviting. All the creatures of the forest admired him. Finn, your glow could guide us through the darkest nights, the wise old owl Eldrin once hooted. It's a gift unlike any other. Finn would always blush at the praise, though his cheeks were hidden by his tiny luminescent body. He didn't think much of his glow. It simply felt like part of him, like the soft hum of the breeze or the gentle babble of the creek that ran through the woods. It's just a glow, he'd chirp modestly. But deep down, he took pride in knowing he could make his friends smile and help the forest feel a little brighter. One particularly starry night, Finn soared above the treetops, his glow blending with the twinkling lights of the sky. The forest below was blanketed in a soft hush, and Finn felt the kind of peace that only came from being surrounded by nature's beauty. As he hovered near the edge of the clearing, he noticed a group of baby rabbits struggling to find their way back to their burrow. Their noses twitched anxiously, and their big eyes reflected the silvery moonlight. Without hesitation, Finn darted down and hovered just above them, his light casting a warm glow over their tiny, trembling forms. "Follow me," he said kindly. With every flutter of his delicate wings, he led the little rabbits through the tall grass and past the twisting roots until they safely reached the entrance of their burrow. "Thank you, Mr. Firefly," they squeaked, their whiskers quivering with gratitude. Finn beamed. Helping others was the greatest joy his light had ever given him. As the moon climbed higher into the night sky, Finn returned to his favourite perch atop a swaying fern, feeling satisfied with his night's adventures. Yet, as he sat there basking in the serenity of the forest, a strange sensation crept over him. It started as a flicker, just a faint dimming of his golden light. At first, Finn thought it was just a trick of the night, but when he glanced down at himself, his glow was barely visible, like a candle struggling against a gust of wind. Finn blinked in surprise. "That's odd," he murmured. He rubbed his tiny legs together as if to reignite his glow, but nothing happened. His once brilliant light was now no brighter than a faint ember, barely illuminating the fern beneath him. The forest, so familiar and welcoming just moments before, suddenly felt vast and shadowy. Finn's tiny heart raced. "What's happening to me?" he whispered. "Why is my glow fading?" All around him, the forest carried on as if nothing had changed. The crickets chirped their melodies, the stream trickled softly, and the wind rustled the leaves overhead. But to Finn, the world felt different. Darker, lonelier, and full of questions he couldn't answer. As he sat there, watching his dim light flicker like a waning star, a thought took root in his mind. I have to find out why my glow is fading, he decided. With a determined flutter of his wings, Finn rose into the air. Though his light was faint, his resolve burned brightly within him. He would search every corner of the Whispering Woods if he had to. Little did Finn know, his journey to uncover the secret of his fading glow would take him to places he had never dreamed of, and teach him lessons that would shine brighter than any light he'd ever known. Finn's wings hummed softly as he ventured deeper into the heart of the Whispering Woods. The familiar paths he had flown so many times now felt cloaked in mystery. Without his bright glow lighting the way, shadows seemed to stretch longer and the trees loomed taller, their branches reaching out like curious fingers. Finn shook off the unease creeping over him. It's just the forest, he told himself. Nothing has changed except me. The first place Finn thought to visit was the glimmering pond. This crystal clear body of water was where the fireflies often gathered to rest and admire their reflections. Finn hoped the cool waters might help him figure out what was wrong with his glow. Perhaps he would see something he hadn't noticed before. The pond's surface was smooth as glass, reflecting the silvery moon and the glittering stars above. As Finn hovered over the water, he peered down at his reflection. What he saw made his tiny wings shudder. His light, once a radiant golden hue, was now just a faint flicker. It danced weakly in the water like a fragile ember on the verge of going out. Finn's heart sank. Why is this happening to me? He murmured, feeling more unsure of himself than ever. The soft chirp of a cricket pulled him from his thoughts. From behind a cluster of cattails, a tiny green cricket named Lila hopped into view. Lila was one of the forest's most curious and clever creatures, always poking her antennae into everything. "Finn, is that you?" she chirped, tilting her head. Finn managed a small smile. "Hi, Lila. Yes, it's me. Or at least I think it is." Lila hopped closer, her bright eyes scanning him up and down. "You look dim," she said, her voice soft with concern. "What happened to your glow?" "I don't know," Finn admitted, his wings drooping. "One moment it was there and the next, it's like it's slipping away." Lila tapped her tiny legs together, thinking hard. "Maybe you've been overworking your glow. Fireflies like you light up the entire forest every night. Perhaps your light just needs a break." Finn considered this, but it didn't feel right. His glow had always been a part of him, a steady warmth that never faltered, no matter how much he flew or how many creatures he helped. "I don't think that's it," he said, shaking his head. "But I do need to figure it out. Do you know anyone who might be able to help?" Lila's antennae twitched thoughtfully. "You should visit the elder willow," she suggested. "She's the oldest tree in the forest, and she's seen everything. If anyone knows why your glow is fading, it's her." Hope sparked in Finn's chest. "The elder willow! That's a great idea, Lila. Thank you." Finn fluttered his wings, preparing to take off, but Lila held up a leg to stop him. "Wait! The elder willow is far away, past the fern glade and through the meadow of whispers. It's not an easy journey, especially if your glow is so dim. Be careful out there, okay?" "I will," Finn promised. "Thank you, Lila. I'll let you know what I find out." With that, Finn took to the air, leaving the glimmering pond behind. His faint light barely illuminated the path ahead, and he had to rely on the soft glows of other fireflies and the silvery moonlight filtering through the trees. The fern glade was his first challenge. The dense ferns towered over him like green giants, their fronds swaying gently in the night breeze. Normally, Finn could light his way through the glade with ease. But now, the shadows seemed to shift and swirl around him. "Just keep going," Finn whispered to himself. "You're stronger than you feel." As he pushed forward, a soft rustling caught his attention. From behind a thick fern emerged a small hedgehog, its spiky back glinting faintly in the moonlight. "Lost, are you?" the hedgehog asked, its voice low and raspy. "No, not lost," Finn replied, hovering closer. "Just trying to find my way to the elder willow." The hedgehog squinted at him. "Your light? It's almost gone. What's a firefly without his glow doing out here alone?" Finn sighed. "I'm trying to figure that out." The hedgehog nodded slowly. "The elder willow's wisdom is worth seeking. Follow the silver flowers. They'll guide you to her." "Thank you," Finn said gratefully. As Finn left the hedgehog behind, he noticed small silver blossoms scattered along the forest floor, their petals shimmering faintly. He followed them, his wings carrying him onward. The journey was just beginning, and though his glow was weak, Finn's determination shone brighter than ever. Finn followed the trail of silver flowers deeper into the forest. Their faint glow shimmered like moonlight on water, guiding him through the fern glade and into the meadow of whispers. The meadow was a place of quiet magic, where even the gentlest breeze carried soft murmurs, as if the grass and flowers were sharing secrets. Finn's wings buzzed faintly, the sound barely audible over the rustling whispers of the meadow. The trail of silver flowers seemed endless, winding through patches of tall grass that brushed against Finn's legs. The absence of his usual glow made the meadow feel unfamiliar, even intimidating. Normally, Finn could navigate the darkest corners of Whispering Woods with his light casting warmth and safety around him. Now, he relied on the silver flowers and the occasional glow of distant fireflies. As he hovered over a patch of wild lavender, Finn spotted movement up ahead. His heart quickened, and he prepared himself for whatever might emerge. Out of the tall grass bounded a rabbit, its snowy fur gleaming softly in the moonlight. The rabbit stopped abruptly, its large eyes meeting Finn's. "Hello there," the rabbit said, its voice high and cheerful. "What brings a little firefly like you to the meadow of whispers?" Finn hesitated before responding. "I'm looking for the elder willow," he said. "I've lost my glow and I need to find out why." The rabbit's nose twitched. "Lost your glow? That sounds serious. I'm Thistle, by the way." "Finn?" he replied with a small nod. "Well, Finn, the elder willow is a wise one," Thistle said. "But the journey to her roots isn't easy. There are parts of the woods that can be called tricky." "I'll manage," Finn said, his voice steady. "I have to." Thistle tilted her head, as if measuring Finn's resolve. "In that case, I'll come with you. The Meadow of Whispers isn't a place to wander alone, especially without your light." Before Finn could protest, Thistle hopped ahead, her cotton-like tail bouncing with every leap. "Come on, Slowpoke," she called back. "We've got a long way to go." With a resigned hum of his wings, Finn followed Thistle. The rabbit was quick and agile, weaving through the meadow with ease. Finn marvelled at how sure-footed she was, even in the shadowy parts where the flowers no longer glowed. As they approached the edge of the meadow, the air grew cooler, and the whispers of the grass faded. Ahead loomed a dense thicket of brambles, their dark vines twisted like sleeping serpents. "This is the Briar Gate," Thistle said, her voice quieter now. "It's the first real challenge on the way to the Elder Willow. These brambles are alive and they don't like to let anyone through." Finn hovered closer to the tangled vines, noticing the faint glimmers of dew on their thorny surfaces. "How do we get past them?" Thistle tapped her paw against the ground, thinking, "You can't force your way through. That'll just make them tighten. But I've heard they respond to kindness." "Kindness?" Finn echoed, unsure of what she meant. "Try talking to them," Thistle suggested. "Ask them nicely." Feeling slightly foolish, Finn fluttered up to the nearest bramble vine. Hello there," he began. "I'm Finn, and this is my friend Thistle. We're trying to reach the Elder Willow. Could you let us through, please?" For a moment, nothing happened. Then the bramble vine closest to Finn shifted slightly, its thorns retracting just a little. Encouraged, Finn continued. "We mean no harm," he said gently. "We just need to pass through. I've lost my glow and I need the Elder Willow's wisdom to find it again." The brambles rustled softly, their movements almost hesitant. One by one, the vines began to untangle, creating a narrow pathway through the thicket. "You did it!" Thistle exclaimed, her eyes wide with amazement. Finn felt a flicker of pride, though it was quickly tempered by the daunting path ahead. "Let's go," he said, and the two of them carefully made their way through the Briar Gate. On the other side, the forest was darker and denser. The trees here were ancient, their gnarled trunks covered in moss and lichen. The air was heavy with the scent of damp earth and pine needles. Finn felt a chill run through him, but Thistle seemed unfazed. As they walked, they came across a small clearing where a stream trickled over smooth stones. A family of raccoons was gathered by the water's edge, their striped tails swishing as they drank. One of the raccoons looked up and spotted Finn and Thistle. "Travellers?" she asked, her voice soft but curious. "Yes," Thistle replied. "We're on our way to the Elder Willow." The raccoon tilted her head. "That's quite the journey. Are you prepared for the challenges ahead?" "We'll manage," Finn said, his tone resolute. The raccoon smiled faintly. "If you're seeking the Elder Willow, you must prove yourself worthy. The path ahead is not for the faint of heart." "What do you mean?" Thistle asked, her ears twitching. "The Elder Willow values more than persistence," the raccoon explained. "She looks for selflessness, for those who can help others even when they're struggling themselves." Finn exchanged a glance with Thistle, the weight of the raccoon's words sinking in. "Thank you for the warning," he said. The raccoon nodded, her gaze lingering on Finn. "Good luck, little firefly. Remember, sometimes the journey is the answer you seek." With those cryptic words, the raccoon family disappeared into the shadows, leaving Finn and Thistle to continue their journey. The forest grew quieter as they pressed on, the only sounds being the rustle of leaves and the soft crunch of Thistle's paws on the forest floor. Finn's wings ached from the constant effort of flying, but he refused to slow down. "Are you okay?" Thistle asked, noticing his fatigue. "I'm fine," Finn said, though his voice lacked conviction. Thistle stopped and turned to face him. "You don't have to pretend, you know. It's okay to admit when you're tired." Finn sighed, his wings drooping. I feel like I have to keep going. If I stop, I might never find my glow again." Thistle smiled gently. "Sometimes resting is part of the journey. Come on, let's take a break by that log over there." Reluctantly, Finn agreed, and the two of them settled down on a moss-covered log. The stars overhead twinkled like tiny fireflies, and Finn couldn't help but feel a pang of longing for his lost glow. As they rested, a small breeze stirred the leaves around them, carrying with it a faint, melodic hum. Finn sat up, his antennae twitching. "Do you hear that?" Thistle nodded. "It's coming from up ahead. We must be getting closer to the elder willow." Finn's heart quickened. He didn't know what lay ahead, but he was determined to keep going. Together, he and Thistle rose from their resting place and resumed their journey, the faint hum guiding them onward. Finn and Thistle pressed forward into the ancient woods, their path illuminated only by the faint glimmer of silver moss clinging to the base of trees. The melodic hum grew louder, resonating like a heartbeat through the forest. The air felt heavier here, as if they had crossed into a realm where the trees held memories of 1,000 years. The hum seemed to pull them forward, guiding their steps through winding trails and towering trees. Despite the dense canopy overhead, there was a faint glow in the distance that beckoned them onward. Finn couldn't help but feel both anticipation and unease. He was closer than ever to finding the elder willow, but what if her wisdom wasn't enough to restore his glow? As they walked, the pair encountered their first real challenge. Ahead, the forest floor gave way to a wide, rushing river. The water churned and bubbled with energy, reflecting the faint glow of moonlight that managed to pierce through the trees. "How are we going to cross this?" Finn asked, his wings buzzing nervously. Thistle surveyed the riverbank, her nose twitching. "We'll need to find a way across. Maybe there's a fallen log or some stepping stones nearby." The two of them searched along the riverbank, but the water seemed to stretch endlessly in both directions. Just as Finn was beginning to despair, a voice called out from the river. "Looking for a way across?" Finn and Thistle turned to see a turtle resting on a rock near the water's edge. His shell gleamed with a soft emerald glow, and his wise eyes sparkled with curiosity. "Yes?" Finn said, fluttering closer. "We need to cross the river to reach the elder willow." The turtle chuckled. "The elder willow, you say? That's quite the destination, but crossing this river isn't easy. It's strong, and the current will sweep you away if you're not careful." "Do you know how we can get across?" Thistle asked. The turtle nodded slowly. "I can help, but first, you must help me. You see, my little ones have wandered downstream, and I need someone to bring them back safely. If you can do that, I'll guide you across." Finn hesitated, his wings trembling slightly. He was already so far from his goal, and every detour felt like time wasted. But he also knew he couldn't refuse to help. The raccoon's words echoed in his mind. "The elder willow values selflessness." "We'll help," Finn said firmly, glancing at Thistle for support. She nodded, her ears perking up. The turtle smiled warmly. "Thank you, little firefly. My hatchlings are down by the willow reeds. Be careful. They can be a bit mischievous." Finn and Thistle followed the turtle's directions, flying and hopping along the riverbank until they reached a patch of tall, swaying reeds. Sure enough, 3 tiny turtles were splashing and playing in the shallow water, oblivious to the dangers of the current. "Hey there!" Finn called out, trying to get their attention. "Your father sent us to bring you back." The hatchlings giggled and dove beneath the water, their shells glinting like emeralds. Finn sighed. "This might be harder than I thought." Thistle stepped forward, her paws barely touching the water. "I'll distract them while you guide them back. Let's make it a game." With Thistle's quick thinking, the plan worked. She hopped and splashed, drawing the hatchlings' attention, while Finn used his faint glow to lead them upstream. It was slow work, but eventually all 3 hatchlings were reunited with their grateful father. "You've done well," the turtle said, his eyes shining with gratitude. "Climb onto my shell and I'll take you across the river." Finn and Thistle did as he said, holding on tightly as the turtle carried them safely across the rushing water. When they reached the other side, Finn felt a spark of hope. Helping the turtle had reminded him that even without his glow, he could still make a difference. As they ventured deeper into the forest, the melodic hum transformed into a soft, enchanting song. It seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere at once, wrapping around Finn like a comforting blanket. The trees here were even older, their roots gnarled and sprawling like ancient veins through the earth. "Do you feel that?" Thistle asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Finn nodded. "It's like the forest is alive." Their next challenge came in the form of a dense fog that rolled in unexpectedly, shrouding the path ahead. The mist was thick and cold, clinging to Finn's wings and making it hard to see. Even Thistle, with her sharp eyes and keen nose, seemed disoriented. "We can't stop," Finn said, his voice determined. "We have to keep moving." But as they pushed forward, the fog seemed to grow thicker until they could no longer see each other. Panic rose in Finn's chest. Without his glow, he felt utterly lost. "Thistle!" he called out, his voice echoing in the mist. "I'm here," her voice replied, though it sounded distant. "Follow my voice." Finn fluttered toward the sound, his heart pounding. He strained to hear Thistle's calls, focusing on every word. Slowly, the fog began to thin, and Finn spotted her silhouette up ahead. Relief washed over him as he rejoined his friend. "That was close," Thistle said, her voice shaking slightly. "Are you okay?" Finn nodded, though his wings still trembled. "We made it. That's what matters." The fog eventually cleared, revealing a clearing bathed in soft golden light. In the center stood a deer with antlers that glowed like the morning sun. Her presence was serene, and her eyes held a wisdom that seemed to pierce through Finn's doubts. "Welcome, travelers," the deer said, her voice melodic and soothing. "You've braved the misty veil, a test of trust and perseverance." "We're on our way to the Elder Willow," Finn explained. "Can you help us?" The deer tilted her head, considering his request. "The Elder Willow is close, but there is one final lesson you must learn. Follow me." The deer led them to a small grove where a family of squirrels was gathered. The youngest squirrel was struggling to climb a tall tree, his tiny paws slipping against the bark. The older squirrels watched from below, their expressions a mix of concern and encouragement. "What's going on?" Thistle asked. "The young one is trying to reach the highest branch to retrieve a golden acorn," the deer explained. "It is a rite of passage, but he needs a little help." Without hesitation, Finn flew to the young squirrel's side. "Do you need a hand?" The squirrel looked up at him, his eyes wide with gratitude. "I'm supposed to do it on my own, but I can't seem to reach the branch." "Sometimes even the bravest need a little help," Finn said. "Let's do this together." Using his faint glow to light the way, Finn guided the squirrel up the tree. Thistle cheered from below, her enthusiasm infectious. When they finally reached the highest branch, the young squirrel grabbed the golden acorn and let out a triumphant squeak. "You did it," Finn said, his own heart swelling with pride. The young squirrel beamed. "I couldn't have done it without you," When they returned to the ground, the deer nodded approvingly. "You've shown selflessness and courage, little firefly. The elder willow will see you now." The grove opened into a vast clearing where the elder willow stood tall and majestic. Her branches stretched high into the sky, adorned with glowing leaves that shimmered like stars. Finn felt a sense of awe as he approached, the weight of his journey finally catching up to him. The elder willow's voice was soft and melodic, like the rustling of leaves in a gentle breeze. "Welcome, Finn. You have travelled far to find me." "I've lost my glow," Finn said, his voice trembling. "I thought I could find it here." The elder willow's leaves swayed as if she were nodding. "Your glow was never truly lost, dear one. It dimmed because you doubted yourself. But through your journey you have shown kindness, courage, and selflessness. Those qualities are the true source of your light." Finn's eyes widened as the elder willow's words sank in. "So my glow? It comes from within?" "Exactly," she said. "When you help others and believe in yourself, your light shines brighter than ever." As if in response, a warm glow began to emanate from Finn's body. It started as a faint flicker, then grew stronger, enveloping him in a golden light. Thistle gasped in delight, her paws clapping together. "You did it, Finn!" she exclaimed. Finn looked at himself, his glow brighter and more vibrant than ever. Tears filled his eyes as he realized the truth of the elder willow's words. His glow had always been there. It just needed a little spark. The elder willow's branches swayed gently. "Go forth, little firefly, and share your light with the world." Finn and Thistle left the clearing, their spirits soaring. The forest seemed brighter now, filled with possibilities and wonder. Finn's journey had taught him more than he ever expected, and he was ready to face whatever lay ahead. Finn and Thistle emerged from the clearing of the elder willow, the warm glow of Finn's light illuminating the path ahead. The forest that once seemed daunting and shadowy now felt vibrant and alive, every leaf shimmering with newfound clarity. Finn couldn't help but marvel at how the world appeared different. Not because the forest had changed, but because he had. "Your glow looks brighter than the moon," Thistle said with a laugh, skipping beside him. "I knew you had it in you, Finn." Finn smiled, his heart brimming with gratitude. "It's funny, isn't it? I spent so much time looking for something I thought was lost, only to find it right where it's always been." They walked in comfortable silence for a while, savoring the peacefulness of the forest. The trees swayed gently in the breeze, their leaves whispering secrets only they could understand. The melodic hum that had guided Finn through his journey seemed to echo faintly, as if bidding him farewell. Finn felt a pang of sadness at leaving this magical place, but he knew it was time to return home. As they approached the edge of the forest, the familiar sights of the meadow came into view. The stars above twinkled like tiny beacons of encouragement, and the cool grass beneath their feet felt soft and welcoming. "Finn!" a chorus of voices called out. A group of fireflies fluttered toward them, their lights flickering in excitement. Finn recognized his friends who had worriedly searched for him after he disappeared. "We thought we'd lost you," said Lila, her glow pulsing with relief. "Where have you been?" "It's a long story," Finn replied, chuckling. "But let's just say I went on an adventure and learned a lot about myself along the way." Lila tilted her head, curious. "And your glow, it's brighter than ever. What happened?" Finn felt a warm, glowing pride. "And I wouldn't trade a single moment of it. Even when I felt lost, Helping others reminded me of what truly matters." Finn hesitated for a moment, unsure of how to put his journey into words. Then, with a deep breath, he said, "I discovered that my glow wasn't something I could find out there. It comes from within, from helping others, being brave and believing in myself." The other fireflies buzzed with admiration, their lights flickering in agreement. "That's amazing, Finn," said one of them. "We were so glad you're back." Thistle cleared her throat playfully. "I think I deserve some credit too, don't you think? I kept him out of trouble." Finn laughed, his heart light. "I couldn't have done it without you, Thistle." Just then, a soft glow lit up the meadow. The animals Finn and Thistle had helped during their journey were gathering, drawn by the brightness of his restored light. The turtle and his hatchlings, the young squirrel with the golden acorn, and even the deer with glowing antlers appeared, their presence a reminder of the connections Finn had made. "You've touched so many lives," Thistle said, her voice full of pride. "Look at all the friends you've made." The animals began to gather around Finn, forming a circle that radiated warmth and joy. Together, they celebrated the journey, their shared stories, and the lessons learned. Laughter and light filled the meadow, and for the first time, Finn felt truly at peace with who he was. As the celebration wound down, Finn turned to Thistle. "You've been the best friend anyone could ask for. I hope we can have more adventures together." Thistle grinned. "You can count on it, Finn. The world is full of secrets, waiting to be discovered." The stars began to fade as the first light of dawn painted the sky with soft hues of pink and orange. Finn watched as the world awoke, his heart swelling with the promise of a new day. He'd found his glow, but more importantly, he had found himself. With a contented sigh, Finn turned to his friends and said, "Let's head home. There's so much more to see, and I want to share my light with everyone." As they flew back toward their home in the meadow, Finn's glow lit the way, a beacon of hope and joy for all who saw it. The forest behind them shimmered in farewell, and the fireflies disappeared into the morning light, their laughter echoing softly in the breeze. Finn's journey had come to an end, but the lessons he learned would stay with him forever. His glow was not just a light, it was a reflection of his heart, a reminder that the greatest treasures are often found within. And with that, Finn embraced the dawn, ready to face whatever adventures lay ahead. As the meadow quieted and the warm glow of Finn's light gently dimmed, the world seemed to take a deep, calming breath. The animals settled into their cozy nooks and the fireflies nestled among the soft blades of grass, their tiny glows pulsing like a heartbeat. Finn perched on a smooth rock, his wings tucked in comfortably, and his light casting a soft halo around him. The stars above twinkled serenely as if whispering good night. He gazed at the tranquil meadow and let out a sigh of pure contentment. "Close your eyes," Finn whispered, his voice as soft as the rustling leaves. "Let's take a moment to find peace, just like I did on my journey." Imagine yourself lying on a soft, plush cloud. It cradles your body gently, wrapping you in warmth and safety. The cloud floats effortlessly through a starry night sky, high above the world below. You feel weightless, as though you could drift forever, free and light as air. Take a deep breath in, slowly, and let it out gently. Feel the tension in your shoulders melt away. Take another breath, this time a little deeper. Feel the cool, refreshing air fill your chest and let it out slowly. Each exhale carries away the heaviness of the day, leaving your body lighter and lighter. Picture a soft, golden light glowing within you, just like Finn's glow. It starts small, a flicker of warmth in your chest, and with each breath it grows brighter. The light spreads, reaching your arms, your legs, and even your fingertips, filling you with calm and comfort. Slowly, the cloud begins to descend, bringing you back to the soft meadow below. The golden light within you continues to glow, warm and steady like a gentle flame. As the cloud settles onto the grass, you feel the soft earth beneath you, grounding you in its comforting embrace. Breathe in deeply one more time, and as you exhale, feel your body sink deeper into relaxation. Your arms feel heavy, your legs loose, and your entire body completely at ease. As you float on your cloud, repeat these words in your mind or whisper them softly. I am safe, I am calm, I am loved. My light shines brightly even in the darkest moments. I am strong and brave, just like Finn. Helping others brings joy to my heart. I am surrounded by warmth and kindness. I deserve rest and peace. Each affirmation feels like a warm embrace, wrapping you in gentle reassurance. Your golden light glows, brighter with every kind word, radiating peace and joy. Now, imagine the cloud carrying you higher into the sky. You pass through clusters of twinkling stars, each one smiling down at you. The stars form constellations of friendly shapes, a wise owl, a playful rabbit, and a glowing firefly. They wink at you, as if sharing their secrets of the universe. The stars whisper softly, "You are part of this beautiful, endless sky. Your light matters just like us." Their words fill you with a sense of belonging, a feeling that you are exactly where you're meant to be. The cloud drifts toward a glowing moon, casting its silver light across the sky. You reach out with your fingertips, and the moonlight feels cool and soothing, like a gentle breeze. It reminds you that even in the darkest nights, there is always light to guide you. Repeat these words in your mind as you prepare to drift into sleep. I am peaceful. I am safe. I am surrounded by love and light. My dreams will be calm and beautiful. I will wake up refreshed and full of joy. Finn's soft voice seemed to echo through the still night. Remember, your light comes from within, and it shines brightest when you share it with the world. Sleep well, my friend. The meadow grew quieter, the fireflies' glows dimming to a gentle flicker. The stars above continued their watch, and the world felt wrapped in a warm, protective blanket of peace. As sleep enveloped the meadow, Finn's light pulsed softly, a steady reminder that no matter how dark the night, there is always a glow to guide you. As the gentle hum of the night filled the air, Finn's glow continued to pulse softly, a comforting beacon in the tranquil meadow. The fireflies, nestled in the blades of grass, flickered their tiny lights, creating a symphony of warmth and serenity under the starry sky. The stars above twinkled like old friends, whispering their timeless songs. The moon cast its silver light over the quiet world, cradling the meadow in a soft, protective glow. The animals snuggled into their cozy burrows, and the breeze carried a soothing lullaby through the trees. Finn whispered to the night, his voice a tender farewell. Remember, your light is always within you. Share it with the world, and you'll discover just how bright you can shine. The meadow seemed to sigh in contentment, as if echoing Finn's words. The world settled into perfect stillness, a promise of peaceful dreams and a restful night. As you close your eyes and drift into sleep, know that you are surrounded by light, love, and the magic of this moment. Good night, little one, and may your dreams be filled with wonder and joy. Sleep well. Twinkle, twinkle, little star.